Yes, greetings and welcome to another RC Tune Talks. And today it's a teardown, of the X-Rider Flamingo. No, there's quite a few videos on YouTube that do unboxing and, a few little running. But I'm gonna do a teardown and explain what is it you really get and what I'm up to with my, personal unit. Got two. One I'm gonna keep strictly stock, one I'm gonna mod it to my personal taste, and I'm gonna show you the mod one. I've torn it apart, pull it down, inspect, see what's what, and did my own little paint scheme. So I'm gonna expose a few stuff that I experience with you all. Let me make it clear from now, it's nothing negative really, but I'm gonna start with the only little issue that I found out, and I actually email X-Rider in regards to it. And let me make it clear, this is my personal unit, not sponsored or anything or bought with my own money. And I also needed a manual, because the manual that comes with the kit, it's actually well laid out, but the print is quite small. So I emailed them and asked for a manual, and they actually sent me a PDF manual, which I was able to load on my laptop and have a bigger view. So thanks to X-Rider for that. The only thing that I've found a problem with, which I've addressed in my own way, is the chassis. The edge can be quite sharp. I think it's made from 61 aluminum, and it's anodized. And what I did was just, if you can see, just file the edges. I just, took a round file and just rounded the edges, so it's quite smooth. And also the back, what I've done also, is put on a chassis protector. And yeah, I buy my stuff from Model Sport, so big up. Yeah, and just put on a chassis protector underneath. Yeah, so all I did was just round the edge, and that's the only thing I find out with the X-Rider. You gotta be careful of the edge of the chassis because it's quite sharp. So that's that. What I've done also is the roll cage. I leave it stock, and the screws is a mix of screws. You have Allen head and Phillips, and you'll need a small Phillips, maybe a number 2, that kind of thing, and you'll need a 1.5 and a 2mm hex head, to work on this thing. I've painted the radiator, and I'm gonna leave this in the natural color it came. Now I'm doing a little bit of paint job just to give it a little flair, and this is the engine. So yeah, put on a little bit of like a carbon fiber and try to make this look like a bit weathered, that kind of thing, So yep, and I just stick with a kind of Italian paint scheme. So this is the roof of the cab. The cab comes in 4-piece if you pull it down. It was originally a yellow cab, so I kept that theme in a way, and yep, just kind of pull it down. And this is where the body mount, they're bolted. So I just took it down, took it off, and that's the cab. So I'll show you the finished product once completed. But for now, I'm just gonna give you an insight. Now, I've done a few upgrades myself so far. I've painted the disc, and I've also painted the disc brake. Now I've got a larger tire that I'm gonna use, and let me just try find one here. I've got a few spare parts, and this is the tire, and as you can see, it says front wheel large, so it's larger than the original tire it comes with. And this comes with a steel disc. The disc is a steel one. Now what I've done to this is given it the steering posts. I've done the aluminum upgrade. This says metal, but it's a CNC'd and it's well CNC'd, and I only upgrade what I feel needs to be upgraded. So the front end is quite firmer as compared. This is the original post, and you can twist it with your hands. So I've changed that out, and as you can see, I've painted my rider, and yeah. And what X-Rider does, the screws that come with the parts, use them. Yeah. So, and the other thing, this section is also, you know, made with a spring. There's a spring inside this section, and there's another, and then the outer spring. So yes, some people wonder if there was a spring. There's a spring inside here, this bit, yeah. And it's easily taken off, just 5 screws, and you remove it from the chassis easily. Now, this is the interesting bit. Now I've done an upgrade to the turnbuckles, and I've also added my own, you know, shocks. Went inside the parts box and, you know, box and found some Tamiya shocks. I got some set of Tamiya shocks and others, so I just put on 2. And my version I got, it's the metal drive, metal gear version, which was probably the latest version. Now as you can see, I've upgraded the shock tower from the original one. The original one is quite soft, you know, flimsy as they would say. So I've upgraded this also. And let me tell you, X-Rider, they have greased this thing properly. So if you're concerned if the metal gears are greased properly, no need to worry. And I'm going from the version I have. It's well greased and it's well built, and the material used, they're really good, like the nylon for even the arms and everything. It's well good. Even when I pull it down, the meshing of the gear was meshed properly, everything. So, you know, the only thing I've done also is put on a narrow hex drive. I've changed it to some aluminum hex drive. The original ones are some plastic and 6mm, and I've put on a 5mm. I ran it stock before I changed anything, and it ran pretty well out the box, and it's quite swift with the gearing it has, the brush motor, so it's geared properly, I can say that. And then after I changed the shocks, I then tried it again, and you know, it ran really well. It's like it's glued to the surface, and I ran it on asphalt. Mine will be mainly street running, you know, that kind of thing, asphalt, carpet, and yeah, it's well maintained, so I can guarantee you that no need to worry, it's well greased. Now the power plant that I put in it, I'm contemplating between a brushless and brush. I've got 2 brush motors here. So, and yes, I've upgraded the mount to the alloy mount, and like I said, it's CNC'd properly. So these are the brush motors and the brush ESC, and then I've got a brushless system I'm gonna install. Now this is a low-say brushless motor. It's a 9400 kV. It's very torquey. So even if I decide to use this, I'm gonna half the transmitter to, you know, lower it, to lower the RPMs. And this is the original X-Rider. But I'll suggest that try to do different mounting instead of just keeping everything the same all the way around, you know, because I've realized it can be tricky, and the brushless speed control. So overall, it's well built, and the only problem I would say, or issues I would say, is be careful of the edge of, you know, the chassis. And the transmitter, I've installed the 2-in-1. Hold on. Just bear with me. I've done a little work on the transmitter. I won't be using the transmitter, you know, I'll be using my Noble NB4. And I just gave this a little facelift. The plastic is quite good. It uses 4 AA battery inside. So it's okay. It's well built and it get the job done, but I won't be using it. I've installed it in my Tamiya, my dancing rider. You know, I've got 2 dancing rider also, so I've installed it in this one, and I'll install my Fly Sky Noble NB4 transmitter inside this one. So overall, it's really a well-built unit, the X-Rider Flamingo. And stay tuned, I'm gonna share with you once I've completed the whole unit, put it together, stickers and all that stuff, and my own little, you know, aesthetics and all that. Yeah, so highly recommend. And the parts are quite reasonable also, because I've got a few spare parts here, you know, so to speak, just to name a few, show a few. And what I love is that even if you buy the spur gear set, you get the 2 pinions, bearings, the steel gear, and my version came with the charger and just a few bits and bobs, a goodie bag, the sticker, just as you always see others on YouTube. And the other thing is that the gearing, it's a 54 spur gear, 54 tooth spur gear, 48 pitch, and the pinion, it's a 18 tooth, but you get a 19 tooth also, and they're plastic, but they're, you know, really well made. Everything is well made on this unit, so highly recommend. And stay tuned for the final product in an upcoming video. All right, bless up.